All right, good morning traders, and welcome to the All Markets Live Order Flow Analysis webinar with Bruce. I'll be your host, and we'll go through the order flow using Bookmap and gain some insight to see exactly what is going on and where the market might be going based on the order flow. This is the key in using a software like Bookmap is to be able to understand the participants' behavior in the auction via the order flow. In fact, over the years, I've had many floor traders, demoed Bookmap to them, and they had a hard time making the transition from the floor to the charts. When they saw something like Bookmap, they could kind of feel the pit, the noise, the floor that they used to be able to in the past. So that's exactly what we're going to go through in the live market here. General disclosure, all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so let's jump in. We're looking at the S&P. We've kind of made it through the rollover period. The order flow looks pretty good in here to me. Yeah, in fact, yesterday we had a really pretty nice and clear trading day even on the higher time frames. Whereas typically during the order flow period, it's challenging due to the many different players doing many different things. They're not necessarily speculating on price; they're rolling their positions, and that is different. Anyway, let's jump in here and see what's going on. You can see we had the CPI data over here earlier today, and how the markets reacted to that. It looks like a little bit buy the rumor, sell the news to me. Here's why. Let's take a look at this higher time frame. Here is yesterday, beautiful move to the upside. Well, we had the gap here actually, and from the overnight, and here we are up here, still hovering around up here though. Look on the 15-minute chart on the right-hand side, and you can see that this has not pulled back very much, and we're coming right back at the high of the cash session here. So that's a good sign, and let's see if we can break it and continue on higher. So here we are. Here's the 930 right here. We're already kind of above it, and then this is the next stop here, or this liquidity up here in 4684 level, something like that. Very strong buy volume in here on the way up. Okay, so this is actually that continuation pattern that we talk about in our in the flag pattern, basically on the learning center in the strategies area and setups area. So you can see that basically it's here's your strong move. Look at the volume, look at the dots, look at the volume in the bars. This is the pause here, still looking quite strong though, and then here's the continuation here, okay, on up to the swing, and still looking for continuation until we see something different. Okay, so this is more of a pullback right now. Look at the volume on this pullback in this little area compared to this move here, and this move from down here. So this is strength here, is strength and momentum, and we look for the continuation. So let's see if the buyers can come in right now and move it right back up to the swing, maybe this kind of 77.5, and then maybe break out up into 80. Right, so yeah, we've just come down to the swing here and looking for those buyers to come in. Okay, now this is something, Rob, like you've been looking, I know, a lot at this continuation pattern. And this, we're going to go over this in kind of variations in here. It's very worthy of discussion, and how to, is Rob in here today? Let's see. I don't, is Rob, are you here? Let's see. On a minute. Yeah. Okay, there you are. Okay. Good morning, Slowdown. Good morning, Stan and Steven. Yeah, the variations in this, and that's why, like, I keep on going back to you, and using you kind of as a guinea pig in here, not beating up on you, but I just, since we got you and you asked some really good questions about it, and we're looking into it in depth, understanding these variations in it, in this continuation move, is what we want to understand, right? So like, this is pretty strong in here. And then we have even the pullback in here. It's not really a pullback. It's still kind of trending up, and then it broke out, right? So still strong. Not until we see something else. Now, we were looking for the move back up again here, back up to this kind of 77.5, right? Well, we didn't get it. We see a little bit of selling coming in, but look at the selling that's come in. It's still not that strong, right? Now, we've traded down into high liquidity as well. We can look at where it still might go, here and maybe here, in these little areas in here. You can also look at your volume profile if you want, and you can make maybe your last kind of gasp would be somewhere in here around this 70.5 or 71 area here, and you can still be bullish. All right, so anyway, the pattern that we cover in the education. Okay, let me just actually go to that here. Go to bookmap.com, go to the More button, go to Learning Center, and then you find these courses here. This is the course you want to go to, Strategies and Setups. And then the continuation pattern. There's many different kinds of continuation patterns. And the one that we go over is this kind of flag pattern in here, and then what it looks like in Bookmap, and then the execution of it here. So different variations, right? This is what we want to cover. Here's this variation here. Okay. Now it starts with the potentially trapped volume in these areas as well. Now, there's not a whole lot of that. It's just more like a strong move just comes out of the blue here, and we get this move, and we get a little bit of back and forth in here, but it's still trending higher, right? And then finally we get the stronger move here. But understanding this in here, and understanding that after this kind of strong move and this pause in here, this is bullish. There's no question about it. And we would still look for the buyers to come in and try to reach some of these swings up in these areas, or this liquidity up in here at 80. Okay, so we're going to get pauses along the way, and then looking for those bulls to come back in again. Right, so you know, we had this move back down to here, this little swing. It's actually that we were looking for a little bit further maybe, but we're already seeing the buyers come back in. Okay, so let's see if they can continue now. All right, so anyway, these different variations in this pattern. Okay, this is a very strong pattern here. So we're still looking for the continuation to the upside. Right now, last week we covered this pattern in here, and we really kind of took the you know, these strong moves like this and kind of tilted it on its side, and then we looked at the order flow within it. It's the same idea. It's just not as strong. So maybe we'll go back and have to take a look at some areas, but instead of a move like this, and then this kind of pullback like this, and then another strong move like this, it was more like this. It was more like, well, not as strong, steep pullback, but still lower volume compared to this move. And then we're looking for this move here, and you can also look for a measured move, and it just slightly breaks the high here. All right, so this would be another variation in it, this is it. It's really, once you start to go through and understand this continuation pattern, this is just one. But if you really, this is why I was saying, like, to kind of forget what it says there, flag pattern. Just understand, like, these strong momentum moves, a pause, and then another strong momentum move or impulse move. And then you can, once you understand those concepts, it opens the doors to all sorts of other moves. Okay, you can look for like a less shallow or less strong impulse move here. And then you can look for a deeper pullback. And you can also look at the volume within these areas in here. So, you'd be looking for, like, basically, you're looking for your strong volume in here on the buy side. And then you're looking for very little on the pullback. Okay. But you might not get very little on the pullback. Okay. You might actually start to see quite a bit because it's back and forth in here. Okay? And you might not get, really strong buy volume in here. You probably will get some, but this is what we want to judge. It's this in here, okay? To understand if this next move will unfold or not. Okay, so we'll go through many examples in here if we can find them. Here's our move up to R78. Okay, and yeah, immediately we trade into high liquidity, as you can see, right in here. And then seller comes in and just dumps really quickly here. Now we have an iceberg on the other side of it, taking that trade. So they were absorbing in here. Right, so we're still looking for the continuation. This is just one small move in here. In fact, it's still following its trend line here. Okay, so we're still looking for it to continue. These kinds of things, like if we rely on all of this behind us, okay, this is what we're kind of propping up our understanding and who's in control in these moves. If we can do that, then we can not get shaken out of some of these smaller moves in here like this. Okay, because we know what we're doing. We're looking for, leaning on all of this here as our foundation for our trade idea. And we're just waiting for more buyers to come back in. Now, that said, we have to, as traders, like, we have to be very aware of this event here. We might see this event occur again. Larger player come in, cover, and we want to. We've seen this change the market. It might happen 2 or 3 or 4 times, but we do see that unfold and can kind of change the direction of the market for a bit. Looks like around 83 we have high liquidity. Is that a good target for long? Let's see, 83. Yeah, sure. Way up here. Yeah. Now that's longer term, right? And a lot can happen in between there. But we're leaning on all of this, and so we stick with the trade until we see something else. And now we manage the risk. Now our job is we're leaning on all of this in here. But our job is to manage the risk. Okay, so where are good areas to manage that risk? And maybe 6 or this 80 up in here is a good area to manage some of that risk. Caddy, that's what I would be looking at. It's a swing up here. There's liquidity up here, and just looking for buyers to come back up and retest these areas here. Okay, so instead of holding for 83, which heck, might not even go to 83, it might come up into a 96 up here. Okay, this is where the CPI data had its high up here, and you can see there's traders already aligned up here, right at that high. Rob, is this making sense for you? Like, I'm hoping that this is, by understanding what's going on within here, and then kind of using that flag pattern as just a kind of a background for understanding some of these moves in here. Thanks, Stan. Order flow read for today. Excellent. Are you looking at the yen? All right. Have they rolled over? The currencies usually roll over a bit later. Let's just take a look here. You see, you're still in the Z contract. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff, Stan. Yep. Yeah, and this is a reversal too that you caught. And guys, same ideas, same structure. Here's the move down, the back and forth. Look at the move back up, and then it's kind of above that structural area here. And then we get the back and forth in here. The funny thing is in here, I see the buyers coming in with conviction in here, Stan. And then a lot of selling down here. And you can see the volume within here is pretty strong on the sell side. However, as you note, there's absorption right here. And they still stay in the book right there. This is, although we see this selling in here, we know that there's buyers on the other side at a higher level in here, which is nice. And yeah, as you say, adding liquidity here on the bid on the way up, that is bullish, no question. And then here's your flag pattern right here. Okay, so you probably have another one right in here as well. Nice entry here on the pullback. Beautiful. Guys, I'm going to try to go through. Oh, beautiful, Stan. Look at that. Picture perfect. So here's your little kind of flag right here, right? And measured move right up into your 68.94 area here. Yeah, yeah, nice stuff. Yeah, it's funny how like bonds, they move first, they roll over first, the notes, the bonds, 10-year, whatever, and then stock indexes, and then the currencies, at least on the quarterly. All right, so Caddy, yeah, I mean, like, the way that I like to manage the risk is I would have taken some off up here, even though we're still looking for it to go higher. It's this is a pretty good area in the market structure. Okay, you can see the back and forth in here, peak above it, above this swing here, liquidity that's been in here for a while. And as you guys know, I kind of like to front run that liquidity. It actually traded this liquidity here, as you can see right into it. Okay. So, and then it just, it makes me feel so good. Like when this happens here, heck, you could even, look into, after you've taken some off, you can look for, slicing back into these now that you've kind of managed that risk. Okay, so now it kind of frees you up to look for other opportunities. Okay, Stephen, 96.25 is the 96 and a quarter is the overnight. Well, if that's the overnight, then maybe we'll come up to 4,700. All right, let me clear the drawings here. And any questions on YouTube? Let's take a look. Okay, thanks, Alois. Yeah, the currency futures roll on Thursday. All right. Yeah, still looking for going higher here. You'll note as well, like one of the things that we kind of mentioned in here in this execution of this flag pattern in here is note this little area in here, okay, right here, that there's high liquidity in here, very aggressive up underneath on the bid, and then it even bumped up here, kind of right below this little swing in here, and it gets filled. Okay, sellers come in and they hit it pretty hard, and they trade through it a little bit, but as we noted in this execution checklist here, looking for the trap traders in here, and then for that move and that impulse move to the upside. Again, you can look for it in here too. Okay, so if there's adding liquidity here, it's getting filled in here. We're looking for the buyers to curl in on the other side and then take that higher. Okay, so same concepts to look for, again and again. Yeah, and so now look at how the this is what we were talking about earlier, the steepness here. Okay, quite steep move. Even the pullback, pretty steep. It's not a big pullback in here. It's on. Look at the bar volume in here. You do see it in the dots a little bit, but there's very little red bars in here, at least in this zoom level here. And then we have another strong move. Now look at the move though. Here, okay, so it's kind of tapering off a bit, right? Look for pullbacks to be maybe a bit stronger. Maybe we'll come back to here. Okay, maybe we'll come back to where this initiated here. Okay, we can look for these areas in here. Looking for a little bit more selling to start to come in. Okay, because we're seeing this liquidity getting filled on the way up, and we're seeing that it's taking a little longer here for these buyers. Still bullish, right? And we don't know. I mean, maybe this is just kind of a pause right now, and then the bulls come roaring back in here. Okay, but our expectations are a little more muted now. And this is by the steepness in the move in here. Also by the volume. Look at the volume in here. Look at the bars in here compared to over here. This is the relative volume we want to understand. Okay, that also makes it more valid for a trade management decision up here to reduce some risk. Okay, trading into high liquidity. Okay, I didn't mention that earlier. I didn't even really look at it, but these are some of the details that you start to see in the market structure, and then also in the order flow transactions. Okay, the high liquidity getting filled. They're still on the bid up underneath. That's a good sign. But we need to see if they stay in the book here and transact as well. All right. Now let's jump back to that higher time frame for just a second here. Yeah, we just kind of peaked above here, and 46.77, and that's it. A lot of this in here is also the rollover, guys. So you know the future price was what, 60 points higher, right? And in Rhythmic here, this is the what is it? The ES contract in here, like it just says es.cme. Okay, so it's the oh god, what do you call it? But it's always going to roll to the next contract, basically. It's a kind of a synthetic instrument. It's not tradable. Where is liquidity? Please explain. You don't understand. Okay, so yeah, I would really highly recommend that you go to the Learning Center, and we'll go over it in just a second. But this course here on market mechanics, watch part 1 of the course. This will really help you understand liquidity. Right, so there's diagrams in here that really go through it in detail, so that you can really understand what liquidity is and how it affects the market. Okay, so liquidity are just limit buy and sell orders. Okay, they're in the market at specific price levels. That's where some traders want to buy. They're basically advertising and saying that I'll be a buyer if price comes down here. This is the price they want. And that's on the buy side. Above the market is on the sell side. And this is where there's some sellers now just lining up right now in this area here. Okay, now how to understand this is well, just understand it as buyers and sellers in here. Look at the buyers now. Okay, see how they pulled that liquidity in here? The heat map is showing high liquidity. We can bring up the color map scale here. Red and orange, very high liquidity, then yellow, white, blue, and the black is the least amount. You just dim it. We can look at current price a little bit better, and understand. Well, look at this guy, just came in, a larger player. That one line right there shows that these 323 contracts, one trader has about 200 of those right here. Just came and popped into the book, and it's this dark red color. This is where you can learn about liquidity. They were pulling it here. Now they're up here with really high liquidity. The question is, what's the reaction of the other participants? Do they want to trade with this guy? Do they want to make the deal? Or does it scare price away? This demand, what's the reaction to the supply? Okay, it was looking pretty bullish here, and here they're staying in the order book. And let's see, did anyone transact in there? 5 transactions took place here. That's it. Okay, so it looks like this guy wants to trade in here, this larger player. And note, as this was going up, see how they pulled that liquidity here, where we noted earlier, that's where they wanted to be sellers. So this constantly happens all day long. Okay, we want to gain insight from this though. Okay, so here it retested here, it didn't find sellers trading into this this liquidity here. So we're looking for buyers here to lift it back up to where the sellers are, up here, 78, or I'm sorry, 79 and a half and 80. Okay, so that's how we're reading this. Okay, so looking for our green dots here, which are the market buy orders. Red dots are market sell orders. and that's what moves price. So here it's starting to transact up here. Let's see if we can get a little bit more buying up here. Here they come, and let's see if they can now move it from here on up to here. Okay, so 78 on up to 79.5. Okay, everything changed here with this player, and it was the reaction to this player that we wanted to read. That's what gives us insight. Okay, look at the bid in here now too. Okay, they're on the bid in this area in here. See this kind of bluish area in here? They're bidding up. This guy that was in the book earlier here pulled that liquidity away. Doesn't want to be a seller now. Okay, so this is why we've come up to the 79.5, and that's what we were looking for. It would have been great to see it come to 80. It still may, but this player here changed that dynamic. Right, so we were in an uptrend anyway. We were just noting it was starting to slow down a bit. Okay, and now we see the demand come in, and we see the reaction to it. I hope that makes sense. Morning, Debbie. How do I know it's a larger player? Because of the large lot tracker. Okay, see that little white line here? Here is the liquidity beforehand. It was 115, 117. Okay? And then all of a sudden it's 215. Or, I'm sorry, 315. So it's a 200 lot order. Okay. 115, 315. Okay, so yeah, larger player with 200 lots. All right, looking for them to tangle with these guys at 46.80 still finding buyers. Okay, there's the large lot tracker up here also, Debbie. You can see that little white line here, but it's not as many. Yeah, I can demo that for you. You know, we haven't looked at this large lot tracker in quite a while. It's part of the Global Plus package in Bookmap, and we've had it since almost the beginning. Let me show you where it is. It's under Studies and Configuration here, and then Large Lot Tracker right here. Okay, so there's two different filters in here for it, and I think I have mine just on default. No, now I have it on default. So minimum percentage at price level. Okay, let's bring this one down to 0 here. And so we'll just look at minimum percentage per price level. So it has to be 20% at least of the order book. And that player had it here, was at least 20% of the order book. Okay, this player over here certainly had it. Okay, so that's one of the filters. You'll see if we bump this up to like 30 or 40, like, you know, that player's out now. We filtered it out. So that's one. Now let's bring that down to 0. And then minimum percentage in the order book. This is, oh boy, I kind of forget the, one is, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I remember now. Yeah, this one's a little different. Very, very strong filter. But the way it works is it's actually taking the width of the column here. Okay, so from here to here, and then that has to be at least, you know, 10, 20% or whatever. Right, so one is based on the liquidity and the minimum percentage of liquidity at that price level. and the other one is for percentage in the order book, the column. So, and why that can be helpful is, this is the scale here. So if high liquidity in here, it can't go any further than this. Everything else will scale. So that's why we're using that as a filter in here. And you'll see the differences. Okay, so for example, if we bring this down to 0, every single price level is going to have that white line in here. Okay, it has to. In fact, let's get rid of the numbers in here. We'll duplicate the column actually. And then we'll right click, and then we'll get rid of the numbers in here. Show bars only. Okay, and see that every single one has a white line in here. So if we now just go up 10% or so, it filters out a ton. Right? So anyway, the default is usually what I use, and it's 10 here and 20 here. Okay. Yeah, works for me. I like it. And play around with it if you aren't getting much use out of it for that day. Let's get rid of that column. All right. Yeah, sure. So go to the Learning Center from bookmap.com. Go to the More button and go to Learning Center here. That'll take you to the, let's just do it. That'll take you here to the Learning Center, and then go into the Market Mechanics course here. Okay. Click on that, and there's 4 videos in here, and watch the first one. You can watch all 4. In fact, it was a nice comment someone put in here for part 3 in here, just the other day, and said, like, this is 6 years old now, still works. It's an older heat map in here, but look at this here. In fact, we're going through exactly the same things in here. Okay, higher time frame level, and high liquidity getting filled in here. Here's some exhaustion here. Let me make this bigger. Exhaustion here. Structure is broken. I mean, this is starting to look exactly like Stan's content. Okay, pulling liquidity right here, bidding higher under here. Look at this volume analysis on your tapered profile in here. Very little transactions, so it's rejecting here. Okay, for your volume profile guys, understand what rejection looks like. Looking for a move back into higher volume nodes or higher liquidity up on the other side here. That would be your target. Right, so this is part 3 in here, but I would really highly recommend you watch part 1. Go through the whole course if you want. They're about an hour long each. Okay, and like I said, it's evergreen content. You'll be able to use this for years and years. Thanks, Aloise. Yep, good stuff. All right, let me get back to any questions in here. The continuous contract. That's what I wanted to say. Exactly, slow down. Yeah, I wonder what the margin looks like on a 200 lot as well. I mean, clearly, I don't think there's anyone here trading that so casually. And all right, guys, you know what I'm going to do? I decided this the other day. I'm going to go through at least one person's content in the all markets room here for each webinar, at least one. So, we have the Bookmap Academy. I forgot to mention. So Bookmap Academy meeting this Thursday. Sorry about that, guys. Making the decision here on Tuesday, midday, but we will have the meeting on Thursday and go through your guys' content and in some detail in here, right? So, yeah, if you have any questions, like I said, I want to go through one piece of content at least during these sessions, and that's the flavor of the Bookmap Academy, and where we'll go through content the whole time, and that's about you. It's not about individual traders talking about the market. It's about going over your content and how can we help. All right, so nice move again. This was we're still seeing that move to the upside in here. Nice little stop run in there. Here's a little mini flag pattern in here, Rob, for you as well. Look at that. Okay, sweep of the order book, a pause, another sweep of the order book. Okay, and look at this pullback all the way back down now. Okay, this is why these kinds of sweeps and things into high liquidity, if it's kind of done its move, reduce some risk. You don't have to put up with this in here and have it retrace all the way back. Okay, we know it's a stop run. We know that larger player is over here, so we're seeing some more complex things now in this move. This move was great in here, all kicked off by understanding this context in here, and then seeing that these buyers come in and looking for coming up into these areas up in here. Okay, the swing and also the liquidity. Okay, now this is an interesting one here. We're still in an uptrend. We moved up here. We see that larger player come in and dump very, very quickly. Okay, and we know that's true because look at the book sweep here. Okay, there's a couple stop runs in here, but this is a larger player hitting market sell. Okay, and they're hitting a lot of stops along the way as well. Okay, so someone's selling up here. We know that in the auction. And then now what we had this back and forth, and we had another sweep, two actually, back through here, but we have a pretty big stop run now. Okay, this is about 400. And we can put the stops and icebergs on chart, but it looks like it's about 400. Okay, so we have a double top here. We do have buy volume up here, but a lot of them are stops. Okay, so is that really what we're looking for the continuation move? Well, not really. It still may continue, but if we start to see selling coming in, this is where we can look for a counter trend trade. Okay, a counter trend setup. Looking for our sellers to come in, hit the bid, and then look for some of these areas where it might go. The first area is obviously just a couple ticks away here, this structure. Not a bad area here, this structure. Okay, we have this is kind of where it broke out from, and we have a pullback, and then looking for sellers to hit back down into it again. And then here comes that larger player right here again. Okay, so now we're looking at this swing here. All right. Understood. Now, as you guys can see, I mean, what we're talking about in here is a totally different look than looking at your candlesticks, looking at your indicators. Okay, here's your candlestick chart. We can look at a 5-minute or even a 1-minute candlestick chart here. Doesn't really matter. We don't see any of that kind of activity. We won't have any understanding of any of that activity that we just witnessed. That this move here that we saw the seller come in, and that this move above here was a stop run. We're just looking for our sellers to come back in, and then we're looking for this swing here, and then back down to this swing here, somewhere around in here. So around 76 or so, maybe 75. Okay, here's our 75 right here, okay, at this swing. Okay, based off of what we covered. Larger player, skew of the order book, move to the upside, high liquidity up here, seller comes in here, back and forth, stop run above the area, looking for the sellers to come in and test some of the swings down below. Welcome back, slow down. Look at this. All right, let's go through slowdown's image. Now, slowdown's a coach in the academy, so we're coaching the coach, and he knows exactly what he's looking for in here. He's built out his own strategy in here, and here it is, taken from the that tool that we have, the setups checklist tool. Here's his move back down below, and let's see, market pulse extremes, nice. Okay, here's your move back down below the range. This is classic. This is where you're getting in, or you're maybe you got in here. No, this is usually where you're getting in, and then your target is up here and up here. Okay, looking at the NASDAQ here. Beautiful. Outside edge alignment, previous high of a day, previous value area. Beautiful. Okay, target high volume node up here, and target achieved. Great stuff. Very clean, very clear. Stop run. Yeah, they say the green line is indication to get in. Yep. Okay. So you got in a little bit later, but that's where you ultimately would like to get in, was that your arrow in there. Yep. Okay. So anyway, so here's what's unfolding. We saw this larger player selling. We had our stop run, larger player selling, and we were looking for it to continue on down here. And it's just kind of curled back up, and we're still finding buyers interested. We see this a lot as well, and we look at the market structure again. The question is, here's our market structure here. And we have this area here, okay, but we also have this area here, and where they came in and sold in here. This is where we're looking for some pretty big green dots, because we want to see them pull away from all of that selling in here. Okay, and that's what they're doing. You can see the traders coming in. So it does not matter if this was high volume and then this is low volume over here. It would be better if it's high volume. Once you start to see, because now anyone that's in here is trapped, or there's exhaustion, and then you just look for that structure to change, and it changes here, and we are getting buyers in here, so it makes sense we're back up here at 81.50. Okay, so Caddy, if you're still holding at 83, then it looks pretty good. 83, 84. Sheena, the checklist. Okay, so go to studies configuration, or I'm sorry, configure add-ons here, and then go to manage your add-ons, and then go to the Bookmap add-ons level 1 here, and you should probably see it down here under available for install. And once you install it, it will be in the list here in general. Okay, so yeah, you can see it's setups checklist here, and that's that. Okay, so once you know it's been added or installed, then come into your configure add-ons, and then you'll find it in here, and it's right here. And just put a check by it, opens it up. Okay, by default in here is this flag pattern that we went through in the education, but you can make your own list. You can import your own list here, okay, like Slowdown has done. In fact, we made our own list yesterday. This is it. Right, so let's see, any other questions? Looks good. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, I mean, take a look at this again. Okay, for this time frame in here, kind of strong move, pull back. Looking for another strong move, okay, on this time frame, and that would match nicely with this target up here around this 84. On the bid, a little bit. And be careful of that. They're on the bid down here. It's kind of dark in here. Sellers can very easily move it down there. But we're, based off of all of this in here and a lot of previous activity as well, we're still looking for it to go up to this liquidity up here. Okay, well, we cover in that setups in here. There's questions about where to get in. Well, it's in here. It's in the video. Collapse this. It's in the third video here, or fourth video, I guess. And then the setups checklist is in here, and you can also see the where we're looking for an entry in. Okay, right here. Okay, so strong move, your pullback, low volume pullback, and then looking for the entry here. So buyers start to come in again. Stop would be down here. First target probably here, or these areas of high liquidity here. This is again why you want to look at some of these measured moves in here as well, just to kind of give you a gauge, of what to kind of anticipate. Right? It's kind of it's ATR basically, and it works really well. There's another way of using ATR in here that we've been using with Market Pulse. Okay, so we kind of covered it a bit yesterday, but we'll go through it again using the price change. Now this one here in Market Pulse is free to all. Okay, the price change one, it's a really good one. So you can really start to gauge where, look for your ATRs in here. What I mean by that is like start to measure these moves in here. So this went from 75.50 on up to like 80.50. So, like a 5-point move. Okay, so it's still trending up. We see that these are 5-point moves. This one in here, it's already gone quite a bit, 77, let's call it. And that would be like 82. Okay, Well, it's gone higher. Right, so this is getting ready for a pullback at some point here. Now, we may not get it, still see buyers coming in, okay, but we're kind of anticipating that based off of all of these other moves in here. Okay, this is how you can use your price change market pulse as well as ATR. Okay, so let's just go through an example now. So we look at the pullbacks in here. Okay, they're going from 77 on down to about 73. Maybe let's call it about 3.5 points actually. That looks about right. Okay, so about a 3.5 point pullback. Right, so let's take this move then, okay, from 77 down to 73.5 right here, and we'll take this and we'll move it up here. Okay, so we're looking for trading up into this 84 area here, more or less, and then we're looking for a pullback. Okay, well, this pullback's aligning pretty well within the market structure already, where this move broke out from, and then someone's already here in the book, waiting to buy. All right, so now we're waiting to hear the market pulse tool here. Actually, it was just sounding off up in here, as you can see. Okay, right here. See that little blue peak above? I colored it here for you. There we go. Now we can hear it. Okay, so here it is again. Okay, up into your target. So Caddy, good trade. Nicely done. Not sure I understand your question either. And then nor does Demo Trader. So yeah, I don't know what you mean there. Which system is good for Bookmap? Anyway, guys, here's the move. So now we're looking for a potential, right? What would if we're looking for a pullback at this point? And this is a counter trend trade. Well, what are we looking for? Okay, we just had a market pulse sound off here as well, up into this high. Okay, on price change. Right. So the scenario is to look for sellers to start to come in. Okay, now it's coming up a bit further. Again, we're hearing it now as well to that high liquidity. Okay, and we're going to move this a little bit. Okay, because we're kind of getting this this move up into here. Now, what we're looking for on the counter trend rotation, okay, is sellers to start to come in. Looking for buying exhaustion up here. Okay, let's look at this kind of a little bit more micro structural. Okay, do we see sellers down in this area here, 83.75? Not yet. They're still buying up here. So we're probably still, going to go higher here. Okay, because it's auctioning here. So we're still looking for this to kind of push a little higher. Okay, understood? Okay, understood that this in here, still auctioning, still auctioning, still auctioning. And not a whole lot, but it's still auctioning up there. So maybe a little bit higher. Okay, and now we can take our line here and adjust it as well. Let's move it up to, well, there you go. There's your pullback move, just like that. Okay, so it wasn't a surprise. It was a surprise that it was just a really sharp move like that. There's no question about that. And actually not too much of a surprise either on that. Why? Because we've already identified this player's behavior in here. Okay, so you can see, like, understanding order flow in here, we're really getting into some depth of understanding a certain player's behavior, and we can look for that to repeat. Okay, but you know, we're trying to prepare for this, so we're looking for our sellers to come in, and then, you know, all of a sudden it just dumps really, really quickly, right? So anyway, this is again kind of an ATR on the pullback in here, and then what are we getting here? So it's not, we're not looking for a precise move to 3.5 points. We're looking for a ballpark. It's going to be in a range within that move there. Okay, and it's not bad. It moved from 84.50 on down to, and it did auction down here. You can see at 81.50. So 3 points. Okay, so there we go. That's our pullback. That's our counter trend trade. Just happened really, really quickly. I mean, it's possible that you could look for that. It's not really my style. That I saw the auctioning still here. I was still looking for 85 to trade, and because I can see all these little transactions in here, and they add up, and they'll create a profile, and you're looking for it to kind of break a little bit, but we are looking for the sellers to come in. Okay, and we're looking for that selling in this microstructure at these areas in here. Okay, and do we see a lot of selling in here? No, not really. Okay, there was a little bit better in here, but it's still not much. Okay, to me, it looked like it was going to go higher up here, and then all of a sudden everything shifted and changed. Okay, now if we had the auction and there was more selling in on this price level here, okay, with bigger dots, and then also maybe one below it here and more selling, we would look for the move lower like this, okay, to that high liquidity down here at 81.50. Okay, and that's exactly where price went. It just happened really, really quickly. Okay, a bit more selling starting to come in. Now it's done its price move here as well. So this is kind of its ATR as well. Note how the price change is, you guys can hear it in YouTube there. The price change has hit these little white lines here, the 70% a level, or negative 70% here. And once it's below that level, you see how it's kind of this purple color here. If it's above, it's blue. I change the colors by right-clicking on here and then going to color settings. But note how since it's still transacting down here, the price change is we're still getting this kind of readout here, or output. Okay, now it's kind of back in the range a little bit. Okay, so now it's done a move. I would look for buyers to come in, and let's see if we can get a pullback to about here or here. Let's just call it 82.75. Okay, looking for buyers to trade it back into the range here now. Okay, now we may not get it, but you know, that would be the assumption based off of the counter trend rotations that we've been seeing, and then also our market pulse tool here. Now we're just looking for that to unfold here in the order flow and the transactions. So the order book is actually here on the offer, so that's not looking too good. There's liquidity here, 83, 82.50, 82. And then we're looking for exhaustion, which we are getting. And now we're looking for our buyers here. Okay, so, and we're looking for buyers up in this kind of top of the range here to break it and then come up into our 82.75. Okay, nothing yet. All right, let's watch here. Now that's a lot of liquidity on the offer here. It's a lot of supply. That's kind of keeping, price away. It's kind of scaring price away. Well, let's see though. Let's see if the buyers really come in and then maybe they pull that liquidity in here. So looking for our buyers up here. And maybe even here, 81 and a quarter, that might be enough. See if we get them. There's a little bit. We need to see so much more than that though. And nothing. Okay. Okay. Now this is based on the assumption, what we were talking about before, that this counter trend move here is too big. Okay, well, never, it continued on lower. Still looking for that move, to be honest. Okay, looking for buyers right here. Okay, here we go. Okay, there we go. Buyers should be able to move it on up to 82. Looking for that. Okay, after this kind of dump through here, should be a stop run there. And it is. Okay, and now it's starting to auction back up here a bit. And let's see if we can get more. Note how we're fighting the book here. This is one of the bad things about it. And this is liquidity makes a big difference. We're not looking for this pressure and supply here and less demand down here. We're looking for the opposite. We're looking for demand down here and these guys to pull that liquidity. All right, this could be a small little trap. Let's look for buyers right here, right now at 80 and a half, and then just trade up to here, 81.50. Here they come. And just looking for that. And now that could turn into a bigger move. Okay, we had our market pulse extreme here on the price change. And here are buyers up at 81.50, almost. There they go. We should get them now. There we go. Okay, buyers. Now let's see if we can take it higher, though. Still back to our 82.50 here. Okay, just based off of this idea of these counter trend rotations. Right, and you can see where we're going with all of this. It's like this is how you can start to develop a trading plan. Okay, by studying some of these things, starting to understand your moves in here, and then looking for the order flow to support those ideas. Okay, well, we're still finding sellers come in here. Okay, now maybe this is not necessarily a counter trend move here. Maybe this is turning into a more like an impulse move. Okay, we have to, what would that look like? Well, we know that that goes from 77 on up to like 84, so it's more like a 7-point move, 6.5, 7-point move. All right, well, let's measure that out. And that would be up from 84.50 down to 77. Is that right? 77.50. So that move would be here. So maybe down into this this level down here. Right. Anyway, that kind of flexibility, we have to be aware that we might get that transition. I mean, it makes sense. We've traded up into high liquidity up here. And we do see it starting to kind of, it's been slowing down in here, and then it kind of picked up in here a bit. But we do see the a bit of selling, more so than in this area in here. Let's see, any other questions in here? Distribution, yeah. Lukash, love some of the concepts, and you can visualize it in here from Wyckoff. Distribution, accumulation, markup, markdown, etc. on all time frames. Okay, market needs to kind of take a break. You get that distribution or that accumulation, and then it marks itself up. Anyway, guys, if you wanted more on this market pulse in here, there's some new algos you can get free access to. You need to be part of the Bookmap Academy for that, though. And we're having our Bookmap Academy meeting this Thursday. So if you're interested in that, you will need to sign up for the Bookmap Academy. If you go to bookmap.com here, then go to the More button, you'll see Bookmap Academy here. Okay, click on that, and that'll take you to the page here, and you can read through it. And you can sign up at the bottom here. Really, really simple. Once you've signed up here, you come over to our Discord channel and request your spreadsheet. Okay, that's where you'll document your trades, and it's really easy to do. Okay, once you've made your screenshot and maybe marked up your charts, then you need to just put it into Discord or Twitter, wherever you want to upload your chart, and then just copy the link and then paste it into your spreadsheet. That's it. Okay, this is an interesting move here. So you can see that the ATR in here is really kind of dwindled. I actually have it on 3 minutes here. Let's go to the settings and open it up here. I think I brought it down to 3 minutes. Yeah, so you can see it's picking that up in here. That's why we're getting these extreme readings on these kind of little structural areas in here. We'll bring it back to the default, which is 5 minutes here. Okay, it'll probably clean some of this up in here. But again, you can still look for, even if you at 3 minutes, this is an extreme move here within this little area here. So you can look for it, as long as you can start to see the order flow support it. You can look for a move back to the other side of the range here. Okay, and then maybe take some off here, and then look for that continuation move that we're looking for. Or I'm sorry, well, that was the counter trend move, and then the move back up. We're just not sure yet if this is a counter trend move or more of an impulse move here. Okay, it might have been this might be kind of flipping over now. And we're not getting any clarity on that at all in here. It's just been back and forth in this little range here. All right, buyers, let's see it. Looking for them up to not just the top of the range here. I want to see them break it. I still look for this 82.50 here, back into here. Okay, that supply is gone. That was pressing down on it in here. The order book wasn't working for us. Now it is. You can see there, this guy's starting to pull a little bit. Look at the bid starting to get a little stronger here. And we're starting to see a bit more buying in here. Okay, we're getting a pullback immediately, but let's see if those buyers can come back in right here, right now, and then pop it right back up into our 82.50, 83. 83 looks even better now. Impulse move is the strong move away from an area, a value area. Right, and this is a small impulse move right here on this small time frame. Okay? And this is what we've been looking for this entire move in here. Is just this pullback here, and it was mostly due to market pulse and ATR that we're looking for that move back. Okay. Yeah, let's see. I think we have it also in our glossary. Guys, you can check out also. We put this together for you. Our glossary. Let me show you where that is. You can find it from our website, but you can also find it from our. Let me show you here. Okay, we put this together for you guys. Your resource center for the Bookmap Academy. Just scroll into Bookmap Academy here. No, I'm sorry. It is. Everything kind of shifted in here. Educational library here. It should be in here. Oh, I'm sorry. No, Bookmap Academy. I don't know. Just yesterday, like my whole structure in here looks different. I can't find anything. Bookmap Academy. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is it right here. Sorry about that. The discussion corner here. Click on this one. Okay. So yeah, Bookmap Academy, and you'll get your resources in here. We put the here's how you can get access to your setups checklist. Here's how you can get your market pulse tool, and you know, we have the flag pattern in here. We have recordings from other Bookmap Academy meetings like we'll have on this Thursday, and we have the glossary here too. So click on this. We'll go to the link, and here we go. And then we should see it on the right hand side. We've got impulse moving. Now, yeah, I think I stayed out of it when putting this together. Well, we can just do impulse move from like Investopedia. Okay, go. Yeah, impulse move pattern is an indication of a strong move in a financial asset's price coinciding with the main direction of the underlying trend. Impulse waves can refer to upward movements in uptrends or downward movements in downtrends. Then they also mention Elliott wave theory here, but it's just understanding, like, and I you know, want to kind of reiterate understanding the momentum and the strong move away from an area. Even in this move here, you know, this little move in here has, you know, here's this kind of value area that built in this back and forth in here. Okay? And then we had kind of a shift in the order flow. We had our buyers starting to come in, and then we had this move here. Now this move was a bit more than the range in here as a measured move, but that's that. Um, the uh, the impulse move though, like see how it's strong volume in here. Okay, that moves it away from this area here. Okay, that's really important, and that's very, very typical. Now what we need to see is, does it accept above that area? And we're getting our answer right now. Okay, so look at the selling below it now. Right, so is it going to continue on down? I mean, it's below it here. Okay, our buyer's going to take it back up. I would look for sellers to continue to take this down. Okay, now that might not happen. We might get our buyers back up here. If that is the case and the order flow shifts and changes again, we'd look for the buyers to take it right back up. Okay, but likely scenario is, since we're down below this area here and where this move initiated, and we're back down into this range, we look for maybe acceptance back into the range where price was trading, or we can get a break of it and we can get a move back down into like 79 or 77, something like that. Okay, so we look for it. We look for it in the transactions and the order flow. And not much in the order flow from the supply side up here, but we're looking for it. It's more demand here, in fact. And let's see, here comes a little bit of supply. All right, so do we get our sellers? Yeah, a little bit. Come on, sellers. There's a little bit more supply. Looking for our sellers. Hit the bid. Okay, down into 79 3/4, and maybe 77 3/4. Okay, see the supply. Looking for our sellers. Looking for them to take it lower. Okay, even though we had our impulse move, we are below it. Okay, makes sense. Shark Blue. Sure. Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, you put the glossary link in there too. All right, let me go back to any questions in YouTube. yeah, I really like the sound of this market pulse tool. I mean, it'll alert you. You might be away from the market, depending on your settings, and maybe alerts you to come back in. Boy, not really reading much here. This is a European close, but we were looking for the sellers to come back in. Starting to see a little bit in here. Starting to see buyers here, though. Like, not seeing much. Total exhaustion on many attempts here by sellers. This is why we're seeing the buyers come in. Okay, look at all these little pins here. Okay, no selling. So not getting much out of this right now. All right, guys. Well, let's see. We went through price change, the free market pulse tool, in some details, and that should stir some ideas for you, so that you can start to play around with this, create some content on it. Now, this is just one here, but there are many, and you can we've got the order book imbalance. We've got the price change. We've got the volume imbalance, volume pressure, etc. Let's see, crash. Just put a few images in here. All right, let's take a look. looking at your fibs, got your market pulse read there, got your divergence. Yeah, this is nice because well, you see your downtrend here, but you've got your higher time frame Fibonacci move, which I'm not a fan. I have to admit, I don't like fibs. Actually, the 50% I don't mind at all. The 100%, the 50% I have no problem with. Makes good sense to me. It's usually kind of based on the market structure, that 50% move, and there's a lot of kind of volume areas around that 50% move as well. So I'm good with those. When you start to get into the the 121 and the 151 and all these different, it's like it's going to hit one of those levels, and then everyone's going to, it's like a moving average. It's going to hit one of those moving averages, and it's going to make sense. But anyway, yeah, legging in here, and then looking for this to take off to the upside here. Nice, very nice. After your big move here, and that's actually your leg in. Yeah, also you, Alois. Yeah, it is not a Fibonacci number. That's true. Yeah. And let's see, Crash has got another one here too. Wow, this is a nice move. Really nice. Beauty. Yeah, really becoming an expert in this market pulse tool. Volume pressure. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Yeah. Yeah, just catching that really that bottom edge, like this kind of dumping in here. And what I really like also about this market pulse tool, we were kind of looking at the same thing with the price change. Look how you can see this kind of shift in the order flow in market pulse. I mean, the shift in the order flow is here as well. Let me go bigger with the chart here. The shift is here in the order flow as well. Look at the selling. Okay, and you can also look at some of the selling in here. Here's your cash open. You're on Pacific time, and then look at the volume pickup on the other side here. It starts a little bit here, okay, but this is selling, a little bit of buying in here, selling, and then the buying flips. Okay, so you can see it in the transactions in that flip there. You can also see it in market pulse. Selling, 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 a little bit of buying, selling, a little bit of buying, selling, selling, a little bit of buying, selling here, capitulation, and then look at all this buying in here. Now it's like very little selling, right? Where look at all the sell signals down in here, or below the 70% level, which I think you're using, yeah, 70%, yeah. Oh no, you're using 50% here, yeah, and then look at it flip to the buy side. Okay, so this is the order flow flip in the change right in here. Okay, really nice. All right, guys. Well, the market's kind of been all over the place now. It's kind of been back and forth in here. We were looking for an interesting move potentially here, since it kind of broke below the move, and also a point of control in here. Was looking for the sellers to try to take it down further, which maybe that'll happen here. If yeah, actually looks pretty good. Potential looks pretty good. We've got some liquidity here. We got our supply. Do we have buyers tangling with it? Not yet. If we start to get sellers here or like 81, we'd look for them to trade back down to break the and come down to the bottom of the range here at 79.5 or so, and then maybe 77, 78. Okay, so yeah, buyers took them on though and traded into them here. Okay, question is, are they still trading above? Okay, if they're not, and we start to see sellers coming in, this was totally absorbed here by the sellers. Okay, so you can see we're getting our answer here. There's still more buying pressure. Okay, so this trade idea is it's still valid, but only if we get down here and we see sellers. Okay, else we're getting our buyers looking for kind of back up into these tops of the ranges in here. All right. All right, guys. Well, hey, if you like this content, please give us a thumbs up. This is how we can kind of gauge what to go over, what to cover. Any suggestions that you have, would love to hear it. Let us know, and we'll cover it. I want to support you guys in the academy more and more. So I want to go through some of your images in here more often, and then when we get to it gives it more of a fair chance. So when we get to the academy meetings, we can also, that's when we focus exclusively on your content and give your coaching and your mentorship or your feedback. But we can do it along the way as well, to keep you going, keep you engaged here. And then if we don't cover it during that academy meeting, at least maybe we can get some touch points in here during the live webinars. Okay, so yeah, thank you everybody for coming. We will catch up with you on Friday, or we'll see you on Thursday at the academy meeting. All right, we have Jay Trader tomorrow, and we have Scott Pulsini on Thursday at this time. Okay, so take care everyone, and we'll see you on Friday.